Well, sports is it's a growing sector in the Gambia, and initially it was more seen as if it's a recreational issue, but now, in the last few years, government have realized that sport is not just recreation, it's an industry, and the investment is coming up on the government side in terms of investing in infrastructure development and as well as coaches training and the training of athletes. And so we also look forward to having partners, people that are interested in investing in the sports sector, either in terms of recruitment of players, be it for basketball, volleyball, or handball, or whichever game, but also in terms of investing in the infrastructure in the country to ensure that you get the best of pool that can be able to participate anywhere at the international level. Oh yeah, football is certainly the most popular sport. It's the one that everybody loves. People watch it. And you can go to the streets and find children playing football. In the schools, it's the same, of course. So there are others that are equally good, right, like wrestling, volleyball, but football is certainly the most popular. Well, I think at the moment there might be two areas that are needed, that is the infrastructure development in terms of building sports facilities, whether it's an indoor court or it's a mini stadium like a sport complex for football. That's one thing. The second thing is about the player pool development. Currently, you have a lot of Gambians who are playing at the international level. That shows that there is a lot of talent, untapped talent at home. So we look forward to people that are ready to invest in getting players out of the country because they can make them better and sell them to other bigger clubs. But like I said, the investment in the sport industry, infrastructure is very important. And anyone who invests in infrastructure, you certainly be able to get the benefits of getting the best of players, but also making it available to other clubs to use. Recently, of course, we have our first division clubs, second division clubs, and sometimes there are people that are interested in buying shares in those clubs in order to be able to invest in the players. So these are all opportunities that are available, but two things, infrastructure and players. Yeah, in fact, when we were going around in the morning, we just chanced upon one of a company that apparently is investing or is supplying tracks, athletics tracks to the Gambia, which I didn't even know. I know that's a project of the stadium in the ministry, and we gave it to a contractor, but the contractor is actually working with the Turkish company to supply athletics tracks for our stadium. So that is one example of what we saw here, and that's an example that other companies can as well either work directly in the Gambia, register a company, and do business in the sports sector, or they can collaborate with Gambian companies that are doing work in stadium infrastructure to support technically, but also to supply equipment. So whatever is happening here, because Turkey is now known to be a country that invests a lot in sports and has a lot of companies that are into building stadiums, building indoor courts, and that is something that they can be able to do in the Gambia through our local companies that they partner with or by registering directly and operating on the ground. Oh yeah, so far, since this government came into power, we've opened up the business sector to ensure that registration of companies is made much easier and also give incentives to companies that are interested in investing in the Gambia. And that's how Al-Barak, through the Al-Port project, came with the management of the Gambia Seaport. Of course, we have NEGMA also, which is another company that is operating river transport, a ferry for river transport. And there are some that are doing some other the food chain value in the restaurant sector, and we know of others that want to invest in agriculture. So all of that is a demonstration that the Gambia is a very friendly country when it comes to business, and companies can certainly be able to come in, invest by themselves or work with other people. And the reasons are, like I mentioned, a very secure and safe country. We just got the reports about the African Safety Index, which places Gambia to be the safest country in West Africa, yes, and the fourth in Africa. That alone means that whatever investment somebody does there is a guaranteed business, and the government does not interfere in the private sector. And then there is a chamber of commerce that protects investments and all that. So all of those are opportunities that Turkish companies can take advantage of and be able to establish. And the fact that there are already some Turkish companies operating in the Gambia, they can certainly be reference points for anyone that wants to invest, to be guaranteed that your investment would give you the dividend. And of course, we have the opportunity to export outside the Gambia to some of our neighboring countries, once a company is established in Gambia. Oh yeah, a lot for that matter. I mean, Gambia is mostly youthful population, with about 60% of our population are below 35. And that's where the labor force is. So you have a lot of young people that are graduates from university in the different fields, in law, in commerce, in development studies. And so they are ready to work. But you have others also who are ready to provide the labor. And so establishing a company, for instance, with Alport means that more Gambian young people can have employment, and good one for that matter. But also it is good for the economy, because the more companies you have, of course, they contribute towards the socio-economic growth. More employed people pay taxes, the company itself pay taxes, and that comes back to take care of the social sector that is mostly affecting young people. So an investment in Gambia is certainly a good thing for our teeming young people, for them to get employed, and other benefit that comes through the work that the company will be doing. Well, for the last year, of course, I mentioned the issue of the stadium earlier. So the renovation of the Independence Stadium was ongoing. We look forward to it being completed this year. And so with the renovation, where quite a number of companies that work there are from Turkey. Like, for instance, there is Integral group that had something to do with the turf. And now we have another company working with Jigo to do the athletics tracks and all of that. So those are projects that we started. But we also did, even though it was done by local companies, a particular mini stadium in Bakote, which is for football, basketball, handball, and volleyball, all in one infrastructure. And this year, we're looking forward to do 2 in the rural areas, because these other 2 are in the urban areas. We look forward to do 2 in 2 of the regions, in the northern part, as well as in the Central River region. And these are all meant to ensure that our young people have access to better sporting facilities. And of course, in the youth sector, we have a project. It's an agricultural training center that we manage as a Ministry of Youth and Sports, and where we train Gambian young people who are interested in agriculture. And for 12 months, the government provides free scholarships for them, and they are based there. So their accommodation, their feeding, and their medical care is taken care of by the government. And we train 50 young people annually who stay there for 12 months and they graduate. And the reason is because agriculture is a big sector in Gambia. Today, groundnut production is one of the highest things that we export outside, and contributes to about 13% of our GDP, and which is a huge market. And the young people are the backbone of that. So we are doing investments in training them, and look forward to continuing that project this year. And of course, there is a youth service program where young people come in and they are oriented, and they are sent to technical and vocational education training under the scholarships of the ministry, with an idea to get them skilled so that they can be able to supply the market, be it engineering, or be it some technical work like carpentry, or somewhere in the tailoring or hairdress. A lot of things that young people are interested in, things that the government is supporting young people on this year. But under the other ministries, the government is building more universities. We just inaugurated the phase 2 of the University of the Gambia. And this year, we are launching the foundation for a University of Science and Technology that was started 2 years ago, where they're building new sectors and expanding them to the rural areas, so that young people in the provinces can have access to 2 major institutions. One is focusing purely on fishing, because fish products are big also, because we have very nice fish that is needed in Europe and China. And so we're opening an institution that is going to train young people on fishing. And the second part is another institution in the southern part that focuses on rice production. So all of these are ongoing and projects that we look forward to successfully complete in 2026. No, social media is one of the most common ways to reach young people, because now a majority of our young people around the world, and in Gambia including, social media, whether it's Facebook or it's Instagram or it's TikTok, those are some of the common ways where young people spend most of their time on. However, we also do have school outreach programs where we target schools, high schools specifically, to reach out to young people and talk to them about messages that we have particular interest on. So those are mostly the two ways. But also outside that, during the summer time, the ministry do organize summer camps where we bring young people from different regions, put them in one camp for a week to train them on different life skills and different areas of discussion. And those are mostly during the holidays, like the Easter break and the summer break. But certainly social media is the leading way to reach young people. I think technology is one of the growing sectors where there are a lot of opportunities with young people having access to content creation, which also covers the entertainment sector. But more specifically, the TVET area, skills building on areas technical training, is one of the major areas. So those two, I guess, are major ones, because the rest are normally young people that have gone to university and they graduate. But those that are either did not finish university or they are post-graduate on the technology side, and that's an easier way. But that also applies to young people who are in the main cities, in the urban area. If you go to the rural area, agriculture is the most common way where young people's needs are, and they focus more on that. Well, yes, I mean, with government, is one thing that we can credit this government for is the fact that there is so much focus on infrastructure development, because we believe that, and our president, Excellency President Barrow, also believes that infrastructure is what drives development. So there is so much investment in road construction, in agricultural mechanization, as well as in electricity in the rural areas, access to water. So these are some of the major things that they're taking care of. But on the side of the young people, like I mentioned earlier, higher education, access to quality at the university is one of the major things that government is doing, and will continue to do it. Today, if you go to University of the Gambia, more than 60% of the students there are on government scholarship and paid by government. So that's an indication that government wants to ensure that our young people are educated and they acquire the higher education that they need. And that is not just for this year, but even the years to come.